Hi, I'm Nick from the Cycle Hub, and this is the BMC Teammachine. The BMC Teammachine is BMC's race bike. It is their most hard-hitting, fastest road bike that they make, and this is the latest iteration. With me in the studio, I have their SLR version and their SLR01. The 01 uses a slightly higher quality carbon, which makes the bike slightly lighter. You also get this lovely integrated cockpit for the bike, as well as carbon wheels and some really fancy spec, but we'll talk more about that later. On the SLR version, you get the exact same geometry, the exact same sort of ride feel, but there's a slight weight penalty and you don't get the integration. Still a fantastic bike. For this latest iteration of the Teammachine, BMC used their ACE technologies, but this time, instead of just focusing on stiffness, weight, and compliance, they focused on aerodynamics as well. So when you're on those longer, flatter sections and you're getting up to pace, you're getting an increase in performance, which they can say can be up to 6% at race pace. They've also increased the stiffness in the rear end of the bike by 20%, which is quite a huge margin. This means that when you get out of the saddle and you're putting the power down, it's there and the transfer is immediate. You don't feel any flex on the frame, you're not feeling it moving below you. Everything feels tight, rigid, and immediate. Recently, I was lucky enough to get out on one of these bikes and take it for a really good spin. I got about 65 miles of North Wales terrain with over 1,500 meters of climbing, so I managed to get a pretty good feel for the bike. What shone out straight away was its fun. It's agile and it's immediate in its response. Even though it's a thoroughbred race bike, the Teammachine isn't harsh. It's direct, it's snappy, and it's fast. But they've done a few smart things to make sure that even though you get that feedback from the bike and it's crystal clear from the road, you're not getting the harsh edge of going over some bumps and some potholes. If you're interested in these bikes or any of the other bikes or brands that we sell, don't forget to visit us in store, give us a call, or come onto the website for more great deals and offers. Now back to the video. They've used a slightly heavier carbon in the seat post, and that helps take the edge off any of those harsh shocks and doesn't send it directly through to where you're sitting. Once you're off the flats and get to a bit of a climb, it doesn't feel like a slog. It actively feels like it wants to accelerate you up the hill. And once you get to the top, it makes you feel incredibly comfortable on the descents. When I was descending on this, it was a bit wet underfoot and it felt sharp. So if there was something coming up that I quickly had to avoid, I could do. But it held a nice composure, which gave me the confidence to make last minute adjustments without thinking it was going to put me off at all. The bike is now 6% faster on those flat sections where aerodynamics plays the key. A way that they've done this is by shaving off the width of the forks, lengthening them slightly, using camtail shape on the head tube and other tubes on the bike. This is where you get that traditional aerofoil shape and chop off the rear end, which tricks the air into thinking it's still there, and therefore that air doesn't break up around it and slow you down. With the SLR01 versions, you don't have to worry about changing out wheels or changing out spec. These bikes come with some of the best stuff that you can get out there. This here is the SLR01 One. It's their top of the range model that comes with full SRAM red access group set and the NSW zip carbon wheels. Now, it's all singing, all dancing, weighing in at pretty much bang on 7 kilograms on our scale, and it's one hell of a quick bike. With the SLR version, even though you've not got that full integration and the carbon wheels, all the qualities that BMC have built into this new frame with the aerodynamics, the compliance, and that immediate power transfer is still in those bikes. It will get you going really, really well, but at a fraction of the cost of something like the 01s. One nice thing about the models this year is they've got a really good array of different specs to suit every sort of person, ranging from mechanical 105 with a new 105 Di2 as well, all the way up to the Durace and Red group sets that you see here on the higher spec models, which means that there should be a BMC for every sort of budget. With BMCs, one of the main things, and I've spoken about this before in our Roadmachine video, is the frame. They put a lot of time, effort, money, and research into making sure that you're buying a bike that's still going to be relevant, it's still going to be fast, and it's still going to be up to date even years down the line. The BMCs come spec'd with some really nice electric group sets this year. In fact, the only mechanical group sets you can get are on the entry-level 105 machines. A nice thing about this electronic shifting is how smooth the shifting feels under a consistent cadence. There's no joltiness, there's no big sharp drop. As you change from one gear to the other, it's a really crisp, clear, smooth feeling. On this top of the range Teammachine that we've got here, it has this one-piece stem and bar cockpit. Traditionally, when people went over to these one-piece cockpits, they found that they were getting a little bit more flex than they were from the standard stems. What BMC have done to resolve this is they've made the clamping part of the stem even longer, and they've designed some new spaces to put underneath the stem to make sure that there is just as much stiffness, if not more, in this integrated cockpit than there is on the regular bikes. If you're looking for a new road bike and you want something that's fast, aggressive, fun, and you can buy now and it will still be relevant in years to come, the BMC Teammachine is a great bike that ticks all those boxes. As always with any of the bikes that we sell, if you're looking at them and you're thinking, right, that sounds fantastic, but like you say, maybe I would like a set of carbon wheels to go on the SLR version, or maybe I'd like to swap out the bars or change that stem length, we're really happy to work with you on this to make sure that bike is right for you and what you want. So when you go out and you get on that bike, you're smiling and you're having the best experience you can do. I've been Nick from the Cycle Hub, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. If you want to see more of my face and more reviews about bikes, then don't forget to click the like button, subscribe, and the notification bell down at somewhere around here. Cheers.